It's Leanne Peters here, and I'm here to create this space of healing. This is our personal healing event for some of my patrons. I've got 3 people on the list today, and I've got their names or your name if you're on the list in my cup. So I'll start connecting and pulling your names out of the cup shortly. So welcome. This event happens each month. And it's especially for my patrons who pledge $50 or more for that particular month. So I want to thank you all for your support. Thank you so much. So the plan is, well, first of all, if you are on my list, I do look forward to connecting with you, and I do want to thank you for your support. If you're not on the list and you happen to be here connecting, I'm sure it's no accident that you're here, and I trust that something shared supports you, and that if I was listening and I wasn't on the list or I was waiting for my turn, I would make sure, well, I would trust that I was led here for a reason, and I would do my best to listen with my ears, so listen to what's being said, but also listen with my body and listen with my heart, and really soak up the little parts or the aspects that speak personally to me. So that's what I would recommend if you're here and you're not on the list or you're waiting for your turn. Now, what I'll be doing is connecting with each person for around 10 minutes each. I'll be working in conjunction with my healing energy cards. So what I mean by that is I will pull your name out of the cup. I'll pull a card for you. I'm going to then connect with you, and then I'll pull a card to finish up that connection. So when I connect, probably the best way I can describe it, it's a bit hard to explain, but the way I connect is that I imagine that I'm you, and it might sound really crazy and weird, but it's just the way that works for me, and I've been doing it that way for 18 years now, actually, since I started Temple of Balance 18 years ago, almost to the day. So what I do is I am very aware of how I feel in my body and in my skin. And I'm very aware of what's going on for me. That's me. So when I connect with people, and I realize this really early on, I start feeling things in my body that are not ways I usually feel it. Notice that it was interesting how accurate that energy was. So the way I I tune into you is I imagine that I'm you. And so when I do that and I tune into your name and your energy, I start feeling things in my body that are different to how I usually feel. And then then the hardest part is probably interpreting and expressing and communicating what that feeling is. Sometimes I also get visions and pictures in my mind, or a gut feeling as well of something that just feels like this deep knowing. So I express that as clearly as I can. I don't hold anything back. It's not my job to do that. I figure that if spirit don't want you to know, then they're not going to show me. So it's not my job to filter out things that I'm sensing. In fact, if I do that, it blocks the flow of energy. So the best way I can move with the energy that's coming in and let it unfold is to honor every feeling and every vision and everything that I'm sensing as I connect with you. And then I express that as clearly as I can. If I don't quite get it right, then the energy does hover until I get the right word or the right thing, and then it moves. So as the energy moves and I feel it moving, then I know that I'm on track with my interpretation as best as I can be. So I don't hold back. That would just be silly. It's not my job to do that, and it will stop the flow. And I don't like that because it means I haven't quite got something, or I might not be quite feeling something that I need to feel. So I let it unfold, I let it flow, and I trust that that connection that I've been building and establishing for a long time now. So I let it unfold. Whatever's loudest in your energy is going to get my attention first. So that will come to my attention first, and then I talk through, and then I basically use my kind of common sense to determine if that feels right, or do we need to clear that? How do we approach this? So I ask a lot of questions as I'm going, sometimes out loud, sometimes in my head, but while I'm streaming, I try and do it out loud. So I have my eyes closed a bit as well, because that just helps me focus. Otherwise I get distracted. I'm on TV, I can see myself, or not TV, but you know what I mean. So that's kind of how I work. But let's get started. I'm going to get started here. So the first person I'm connecting with is KantiDevi. So Kanti, if you're watching live or later at the replay, please take a nice big breath. If I'm connecting with you, it's helpful to me if you take a big deep breath and open yourself up to receiving what you need. If you're a bit closed off or blocked, it does tend to affect the connection, if you like. So nice and open. I don't take for granted your the trust that you put in me to connect with you and to bring forward the energy that I'm sensing. So I really do appreciate that you trust me to do this for you. It's an honor for me to be able to do this. So Kanti, nice big breath. And so I'm already starting to feel energy moving in the belly, so in the sacral chakra. That's not usually what I'm feeling. I didn't feel it 5 minutes ago. So it feels quite heavy in here. And what my first impression is it feels like there's some angst, or maybe a little bit of anxiety, or a little bit of apprehension, a little bit of unsettledness sitting down in the sacral chakra, which is our emotional center. So we'll just grab a card and then I'll get really tuned in and focused here. Oh, I love this card, and it doesn't come up very often, and it's so exciting. It's card 98, I think. Yeah, 98, called Dragon's Breath. What a cool card. It's in the rest category, and because it's new, I'm going to read this. This is from Healing Energy Cards number 2 deck, my new deck. And it says, the power of your breath. Speak up, let it out, see it through. Don't underestimate yourself. Breathe out and release. And I really like that, though that sentence is a lot of power here, and I feel a deep resonance, like it's dropping in really deeply as I connect with you, Kanti, is that breathe out and release. And especially that angst or that uncertainty or the confusion or whatever it is that's sort of sitting and jumping around in your belly. It says avoid bottling up. So that really resonates with that area of your body. We tend to bottle things up in our belly. And it says courage. So a lot of power in your breath right now, Kanti. So you can work with your breath as you're listening and connecting, and maybe even carry that through as well as you go through your hours and days to follow. So nice big breath. So I'm being drawn back down to your belly, your sacral chakra, just below your navel. And I want to put my hands here. And I feel like I want to sort of hold and support this area of your body that feels a little unsettled at this time. And I think that's probably the best word that feels most accurate in describing this energy at this moment. That may change. I'm not locked onto that. It's just right for now. I'm seeing a signpost in front of you. It looks like a stop sign. And I feel like something's come to a halt, or something's come to a stop. And there is this feeling that something's not moving the way it was supposed to, or something's not moving the way you want it to, or is perhaps not moving at all, and it feels a bit uncomfortable here. But there is a stop sign that's right in front of you, so I feel like it stopped you in your tracks somehow. It could be news, it could be information, it could be someone changing their mind, it could be something that's not that was supposed to happen that hasn't happened, or is delayed, of something like this. But there is a stop here, and it feels like this is how it's meant to be for now. Like there's this stop sign here that's just a temporary stop. It's like one of the road workers. We've got lots of road works happening around here at the moment. It's like a road worker holding up a sign just to temporarily stop you on your path. So stopping you so that you can connect or reconnect, but also stopping you so that you can release your butterflies, or release that anxiety or that unsettled feeling that's stirring in your belly. So take some nice big breaths. Perhaps take some big breaths now, because I feel like this energy wants to move out. It wants to come up through your body from your belly and come out through your breath, like your breath is hot and fiery, like dragon's breath. And I can feel the heat sort of as it's moving up, as this energy is moving up through your throat. I can feel a slight burning here as it burns away. blocks too here in your throat at this time, especially in regards to communication blocks potentially, especially if you're not getting communication back from others and there's this stop sign up and it's like, what's going on now? There's a bit of a puzzled feeling. So communication blocks, but also energy that is, what's the best way to describe this? That is bringing you back to yourself instead of, it's almost like an internal energy. It wants to bring you inward rather than the external, and being too caught up, let's say, that's not quite the right words, but too caught up, swept in, or too much attention being given to the external things that have stopped on the outside. That actually this is an opportunity for you to stop too on the inside, and that stopping feels like a reconnection of sorts with yourself and a reconnection with your breath, and just keeping the energy moving inside you. So even though things may have stopped for in some sense, stopped on the outside, you can still keep things moving on the inside. So I feel energy wants to move through you. So from above, so from your crown, down through your body, your spine, out through your tailbone, energy still wants to move. So don't let the external that stopped stop you on the inside. Don't let it make you bottle things up. Keep the energy moving, keep expressing, keep flowing, keep breathing, we could say, to get that energy moving. But the stopping is temporary, is the feeling. There's energy also moving around your lower back, and this feels like some insecurity potentially that's being stirred at this time because things have stopped on the outside, and it might feel unsettled, or you might feel a bit insecure with this energy moving in your lower back. So this is the back of your sacral chakra, which is where we've just been working at the front, which is the back of your emotional center basically. So this past emotional, old past emotional baggage that feels like it's being stirred as well, and that wants to also be released. But this is wanting to release down. The front energy at the front of your sacral chakra wants to move up and out, like through breath or through breathing fire. But the lower back energy wants to actually shift going down. So I feel like this energy moving down like water washing through you and washing it down and out, washing like mud that's been accumulating here in your lower back, washing that from above and washing it out, and there's a refreshing feeling, like it's felt quite hot through there, and this cool watery energy is pushing down. It's almost like it's coming down from the bottom of your shoulder blades and just pushing down through your lower back and just washing through there and clearing things up. There's an itchy energy coming through as well. So there's a lot of energy moving around your lower back as well as your belly, and also up through, as you breathe out, up through your throat. It does still feel quite hot up through here, so quite burny. So just keep allowing yourself to release through your breath and release in the ways that feel comfortable and right for you. So, okay, Kanti, let's grab a card here and see what this wants to add. Oh, yes. Something so nice about that. I love this card, Dragon's Breath. I really look forward to exploring this when my cards come soon. I'm about to announce our launch day for the cards, because I've just got word that the cards have left the port and they're on their way. So that's very exciting. Hopefully I'll do that tonight. Kanti, this is your card to finalize here. And, well, that's beautiful. It's card 34, Blossoming. And it's in the action category. And down here it says self-growth, plant the new, actively growing, opening, physical discomfort as you grow. So like the caterpillar being pulled apart while it's in the cocoon as it turns into a butterfly. So this feeling of being pulled apart so that you can come back together again in a more improved way that aligns with who you are in the moment. It says it's time to activate who you truly are and then let it shine or let it blossom. So there is a blossoming that's taking place. There is the feeling of coming out of the cocoon, but you might feel like you're still in the cocoon at this time. So it doesn't feel like you're out of it yet, but you're going through that sort of discomfort and that feeling like you're being pulled apart while you're in the cocoon and while you're shifting and while you're changing. So this may be also why the external has stopped to a degree, or there's this stop sign up in a specific area to force you into that cocoon state for healing and for working the energy that feels right and resonates with you. So I trust this resonates, Kanti. Thank you so much for your support and for allowing me to connect with you today. Namaste. Okay, thank you. Welcome everybody. I'm connecting with a few people here on my healing list. These are Patreon supporters, but you're very welcome to listen. There might be something that resonates with you that is shared for another person. So next person on my list is Susan Sonsteng. Welcome, Susan. Thank you for your support. And let's see. Whew, okay, your third eye chakra is doing some stuff up here. So let's grab a card and then we'll see what's happening up here. There's something going on. I feel quite eager to explore this. They're very strong. Okay, let's grab a card. We'll grab this card for you, Susan. It's this. Card 56. This is in Healing Energy Cards number 2. Any card that's 56 up to 110. This says uncover the heart, and it's in the depth category. Down here it says reveal and release smallness. Remove layers that cover your heart. Heal and open your heart so you can be more of who you truly are and love. Opening and uncovering your heart. So are you feeling covered? Are you covering your heart for some reason? Maybe to protect yourself, maybe to go through whatever it is you're going through at this time. Sometimes we cover our heart up so that we can go through what we have to go through. Sometimes, I know in specific difficult situations in my past, in one particular difficult situation, I had to cover my heart and I had to be cold so that I could see that change through. Because if I uncovered my heart and got all mushy and vulnerable, I wouldn't have made the change. So to make the change, to be able to cope and survive that change and push through with it, to follow through with it, I had to cover my heart temporarily and be cold. So, you know, sometimes we have to do that, but I feel that we have to be really careful not to keep it covered. So at the moment, you're being encouraged to uncover your heart, but I'm being most drawn right now to your third eye chakra. So your third eye chakra up here, this is your center for vision, intuition, and trust. It's usually where we hold trust issues up here for the most part. And it feels like there's a lot of energy moving here. And it's even coming in to include the eyes. So your physical eyes through here. And there's energy shifting. There's also energy as I connect with this. There's more energy moving here down in your throat as well. So it's moving and stirring. It feels very circular. So this feels like it's moving in a circle that's sort of flatter this way. And this feels like it's moving in a circle this way. So coming out to the front and circulating that way, which is interesting. There's also heavy energy that's coming around your head now, and also heavy energy that's coming in around your eyes. And I'm feeling actually quite sensitive to the light right now and feel like I want to put some glasses, some sunglasses, or cover my eyes. So things feel like they're getting heavy through here. So let's break that energy down, if you like. So your third eye chakra, we've got a lot of energy moving here, and I feel like you're being tested in the trust area, and your ability to trust in yourself and to trust in your intuition and trust in the space that you're in and where you're going and where you're moving forward. There's also a sense here that may be connected that feels like you're being tested in your trust that you're putting in others, especially experts or people who may be experts that feel like they are expert in a certain area. And as I say that, these experts, trust in these experts that's been tested, my goodness, the energy here in your throat is just like amped up. So this moving in here is getting really uncomfortable and it's feeling a bit lumpy, like a lump in your throat, or there's something that you need to say or something that doesn't feel quite right. So just watch what you're being tested with in the trust area, and you may need to speak up if something doesn't feel right, or if you don't have the right information or all of the information. Maybe, you know, sometimes experts, they speak in their own language, and if we're not expert as well in that area, which we're probably not if we're seeking help from experts, then it can be very confusing for us, the language that they're speaking. So maybe you might need to ask this supposed expert what they're trying to say in layman's terms, or in a way that you can comprehend. So there's something coming in around this, and I feel like that if you could get the truth, if you could get it in everyday language, that will probably help calm your throat chakra energy down, which feels quite fiery and uncomfortable at the moment. It feels quite pronounced and quite big. So there's a lot of stirring up too, potentially, of your truth and the any communication issues, but also uncovering the truth of who you are and the truth in this particular situation. The heavy energy over your head is most likely worry or stress or concern that's sort of hanging over you at this time, and something that you probably are avoiding seeing because it might be a bit difficult to see the truth or the reality of what's going on. That's the feeling here. So I feel like I want to uncover your eyes so you can see, because there is a sense here, I have this sense that things aren't as bad as what you might think, and maybe the big words that the experts are using are just making things feel worse for you. But it feels to me, if you can uncover your eyes and see, if you can get if you can get this expert to speak in everyday language that you can understand, then you'll see that it's not as bad as what you think. That's the feeling that I have, that it's not as bad as what you think. And when you feel that, so when you understand that and you see the reality of that, I feel like that's going to help uncover your heart based on this card, because it feels like there's some hesitation or there's some caution here which has made you cover up your heart. But I feel like if you can get this information and get things clear, so you can see things clearly and see, well, actually, it's not as bad as what I thought it was, then I feel like that is potentially going to help you uncover your heart and open it a little bit more to your sensitivity, rather than sort of shutting it away or covering it up. That's the feeling I have. Let's grab another card here. Oh, I forgot to charge up my battery pack. I didn't realize it was that low on battery. So I've gone dark. It's night here. Okay, Susan, let's see which card you need here to finish up this connection. The best card is this here. And it's card 74, protected. This is not really surprising with what I was feeling here. It's in the neutral category. And down here it says, stand strong, safety, protect yourself, your loved ones, and your property. Protective force field activated. Step back, temporary, and a passing storm. So this is you standing as the protector, really, of yourself. And standing in your strength as well, and your courage to speak up, to ask the questions, to allow yourself to see what's really going on here, rather than jumping to conclusions or panicking and worrying about something that you don't have all of the information on, let's say. So know that you're protected and that you're safe, and feel that courage and that strength rise inside you so that you can move forward through this situation. So I trust that resonates, Susan. Thank you so much for your support, and it's my honor to connect with you. Namaste. Okay, let's pop these cards back. And the last person I'm connecting with today in here is Andrea Stuart. Andrea, take a nice big breath. And let's see what's loudest in your energy today, in this moment. Okay. I just want to give you a big hug, Andrea. This feels like just nurturing and support wants to come in for you. This is your card. It's card 52 called Soothing. It's in the depth category here. And down here it says emotional soothing, exploration and stabilizing. Welcome contentment into your heart and life, heart healing and opening, and gently, gently. So this really aligns with the feeling that I have, that I want to give you a big hug. And I'm imagining that you're having the biggest hug right now, not only from me, but also from your loved ones in spirit and your spiritual team. And all of those who care for you in the physical, that were coming in and supporting you and nurturing you during this time. I feel like nurturing, this is really the big key word. And I feel like this nurturing energy is really important. It's coming in around your heart. It's coming in around the back of your heart as well, through your upper back here and between your shoulder blades. This energy that just wants to hold you. So it feels a bit like, it might sound a bit weird, but it feels like an energetic sort of tire that's been put around your heart and all around under your arms here and around in between your shoulder blades. It's a sort of a tire looking energy that's hovering around here, and it feels a really soft green with a little flecks of pink in it as well, like really soft pink and soft green. And it's very soft energy, so very pastely as well. And a bit misty looking. It's not really sharp and clear. It's just quite misty, a bit translucent, and it's just come in and holding you and supporting you. So this is what's strongest at this time. So I'm just going to let that energy stay, and we'll just look a little bit deeper now. And I feel a thread of white energy that's coming down from the universe. It's coming into your crown, and it's coming all the way down through your third eye, your throat, your heart. And it's tipping down like this little thread of wisp of white energy. It's quite gentle, quite wispy, and it's coming down. The tip of this down the bottom is just tipping here at your solar plexus chakra, which is just above your navel, and it's just really gently just tapping in here. And I can feel these little drips of energy, just like a really slow dripping tap. Dripping energy just really gently. It feels real gentle, this energy, and it's just gently dripping love and dripping this higher energy down into your solar plexus, especially to help you with things that you feel powerless about right now, or things that you're lacking in strength or courage to pursue or to continue. This sense of maybe doubt, maybe even this feeling of giving up that you might have, but especially feelings of powerlessness where you feel powerless. And this is sort of feeding you and fueling you, and it's almost like refueling, actually. Like this is your fuel tank, and your fuel tank feels like it's running on empty or just on fumes right now. And this just gentle dripping of energy is just refilling you up, refueling you. And it's going to take a little bit of time. You know, dripping to fill up this tank is probably going to take some time, but it feels like it just needs to be slow and it needs to be gentle. And you might find a bit slower and a little bit gentler with yourself, going through your everyday tasks and things that you're doing. There is just this strong gentleness that wants to come in. Maybe some self-care, maybe you need that, but that I wouldn't be surprised, because this is sort of in the radar of the energy that I feel. So just nice gentle energy, nice and nourishing and nurturing. Nurturing is the big key word for you, Andrea. So letting that just drip in, and it drips down. It's a bit like, you know, when you're in a cave and you've got the stalactite here and it's just really slowly dripping. That's what it feels like. And it's just very slowly dripping through. So it feels damp and it feels drippy. Okay, so just letting that take place too, and I'll just now expand my attention and see what else we need to talk about. You've got energy moving here in your heart that feels quite deep. It feels almost like a deep penetration in your heart, like an arrow has pierced really deeply in your heart. And it feels old, an old arrow, but it feels like it's still very much in play now. It feels like something that's hurt you, maybe a person, and through their actions it's hurt you in the past, but it feels like it's playing out at this time. Maybe something stirring up recently around this past issue. It feels like you've tried to pull this arrow out before, but it feels like you've broken off the end and not taken the tip out. the tip feels very fine and it feels very embedded deep in your heart. And in some ways it feels like it's affecting your breathing, because I feel like this breathless feeling as well, like it's pierced in your lung or pierced like quite deep inside on an energetic level and taking a bit of life away from you all this time is the feeling. So I actually feel like I want to take this out for you. So I can feel that the end's been snapped off, but the point of it's still in there. So I just imagine now putting my hand through your heart and grabbing that tip. It's very small. It's a tiny little arrow, but it feels sharp, like it was sharp. It cut you really sharply, and it's, yeah, taking the life force out of you. So it's probably hard to replenish your energy, because it feels quite depleting and quite exhausting to be carrying this around. Like you're, like if there was a tiny little hole in a balloon, and it wasn't enough to pop it, but it was just enough to slowly let air come out of, and it just slowly deflates and deflates over time. That's what it feels like. So it feels like a little, like a chopstick kind of thickness, the stem that's broken, and then this little point that's probably not much bigger than your thumbnail, maybe just a fraction bigger, and quite sharp and pointy, a bit like a needle, I suppose. So just imagining moving in there and just gently pulling this out. And it feels like at the beginning it pulls out where it's joined in, or where it's stuck in there. It feels like it pulls that out with it, and then it sort of pops out of that holding, pops out and pulls out. Oh, jeepers, there's some energy moving down here too as this moves out in your heart, but especially in the lung area and your breath. And just now dropping that arrow down to the earth where it returns back to love. Whew, and it feels like you can breathe again. So now just allowing this higher energy that I connected with before, just allowing that now to sort of flow into your heart, like deep inside, to fill up that area where that arrow was, and to allow this area to calm down now. And now there's this general full body sense of calm that's coming in, like a really comfortable blanket of energy has just come down over you to comfort you and support and nurture you at this time. So that's really strong. So let's grab a card here, Andrea, and see what this wants to add. It feels a bit tender here in your heart and almost up into the throat as well. So just nice and gently might be helpful in these next couple of days as needed. Let's just grab a card here to finish and see what this wants to add. And we'll go with this one here, which is, I love this card. This is my favorite, and I get very excited when it comes up. And this is exciting. It's the Rise of the Phoenix card, 33. It's in the Rise category. And this is you shifting out now of this heavier energy that you've been hovering in, and through the gentleness and the nurturing that you've been giving yourself and that you continue to, especially in the next couple of days, I feel like you're moving out of that cave, that healing cave, and into this energy of the phoenix. And I have to read this because it's so inspiring to me, at least. It says, take everything to the next level, rebirth, new life, let go, emerge as your real you. You create galaxies through your actions and intentions. Expand. Nothing and no one can hold you down. And you've known this, I feel, from your past and from your experience from the past. So whatever it is that's sort of flattened you and deflated you and put you in maybe a bit of a funk or into your healing cave, it's not going to pin you down for long. This is not in your personality to have this be like that. So just be patient with yourself while you let the energy sort of move through, and while you let the nurturing energy come in to support you. And then you'll be rising in no time, because you are, it feels to me like you're not someone to roll around in the crappy parts of life for very long. So the Phoenix energy is coming in. It's wanting to lift you up, and I feel it's going to do that. And it might even be sooner rather than later. So see how you go, Andrea. And thank you so much for your support. I do trust this resonates and supports you. Thank you so much. Namaste. Okay, thank you so much. Thanks, guys. Thank you, everyone, for connecting. Thanks to those I connect with, and thank you to you for watching today. If you've watched for some or all, thank you so much. I trust something shared with you. If you support you as you were connecting, if you have had some healing energy stir and shift for you, something shifted, then I recommend that you drink lots of water, listen to your body, and be kind and gentle to yourself. And just allow a couple of days for the energy to settle and reconfigurate in its new way, depending on how deep the healing has been for you. Let me know if you've got questions or if you're not sure about anything. Thank you so much. If you'd like to be a part of this healing event next month and have your own personal connection, then you can join my Patreon at the $50 level or higher. Will give you automatic access to this personal healing event and lots of other things as well. So check it out on my website. You'll find the link in the video description. I'm going straight over now to Facebook, my Temple of Balance Facebook page, and I'm going to share some healing time over there. So I'll be there in a few minutes. If you're watching live, please come over. If not, maybe you can catch the replay later. So take care of yourself, and I might see you in a minute. Bye. Thanks for watching. Oops. Bye.